welcome to your favorite bookish podcast, Fully Booked and Caffeinated. I'm Kelsey.
And I'm Heather.
And today we have our monthly bonus episode, Bookish Banter, where we discuss the other books we've been reading this past month and whether we recommend them, and also our other favorite pop culture obsessions. This is October's recap, which means that I am devastated and I must put my ghosts and skeletons back deep within myself for the rest of the year. And Heather is just warming up because it is almost Heather season.
Literally.
I actually saw people putting up their trees already.
I love that.
On November 1st. I'm like,
love it.
Oh my goodness.
That's like the one deal I have with Eric is that I will wait until after Thanksgiving to at least put up the tree. I'm still going to decorate like next week, but I won't put the tree. We won't. But we also now get a real tree anyways.
Yeah, so you can't put it up.
No,
yeah.
So it's like better to wait. But yeah, no, I had a couple friends text me yesterday and they're like, Merry Christmas Eve.
It's time for you
because now it's basically Christmas Eve starting yesterday until December 24th, minus Thanksgiving. That's its own day. And then it's Christmas.
Yeah, you can't skip Thanksgiving. But there's only so much getting ready for Thanksgiving you can do. Yeah,
basically just starve yourself so you can eat everything on Thanksgiving.
Heather, that sounds like eating disorder terminology, as we talk about a lot. Anyway, I'm hosting Thanksgiving at my house this year.
You are?
It's literally just my mom and my two cousins. But I'm
your mom's coming up though.
Allegedly, she hasn't booked her flight yet.
All right.
But I'm like, do we have to have turkey? I don't want to make a turkey.
No,
like, can we get like a honey baked ham or something?
Yeah, there's no. Listen. Again, I'm just going to say this. People just have these unexpected standards on things, and, like, you can do whatever you want.
I'm like, I'll make all the sides. If you gotta have stuffing, you gotta have stuffing. I'm not making a whole ass turkey, okay?
I know. And, like, because I was talking to Eric's mom about this, and she was saying how she'll buy a whole turkey, but then no one eats the dark meat. So it just goes to waste. So she's like, I'm just going to buy, like, 2 turkey breasts. And I'm like, yeah, that's all you need. That's fine.
Yeah, one year Eric's dad did those little mini like Cornish hens. Oh, okay. So everyone got their own mini Cornish hen.
That's nice though, yeah.
Yeah, so like that was better, but I'm just like, the worst part is like only having one oven and having to make everything at the same time. And like my oven's on its last legs, okay? Knock on wood. So anyway, so yeah, we'll probably be having... First, I was like, can we just do like steaks and mac and cheese? That's my dream, okay? But like, if you guys got to have the Thanksgiving food, that's fine. No turkey. Anyway, wow, we're getting ahead of ourselves. It is November 2nd. Let's talk about what we're drinking. What are you drinking?
I got a hot butter pecan latte from Dunkin', and they not finally, but they have their Christmas cups out. So that was a nice surprise.
Finally, like since yesterday.
I know. Gosh, took a day too long. You're telling me. Yeah, no, I was in a bad mood this morning. So once I saw the Christmas cup, I was like, oh, that just makes me happy.
I love that. Absolutely.
Immediate mood boost. That's how much I love Christmas. It takes the simplest act to make me like, oh no, you know what? Life is fine.
I love that. Yeah, I just made a Nespresso latte. I have regular milk for some reason. Well, I bought 2% milk because I was making banana muffins and you needed milk for them. I don't know. Anyway, so I have a latte with 2% milk, which my tummy will be upset about later, but it's like perfectly frothed milk. So it is like a very good latte.
Okay, good.
Better than my almond milk, but I still prefer oat milk, obviously.
I know. There's nothing like... When I get a hot coffee, though, I don't get oat milk when I get a hot latte because I don't think that oat milk tastes good hot.
I agree. I only like it when cold.
Yeah, I only get it when I do, like, iced lattes. Other than that, I just
do like get regular milk?
Yeah.
All right, well, cheers.
Cheers.
I only have 2 books for this month.
I only have 4, so not far behind.
Both of mine, I rated both of them 3.5. So not bad, but not great. And they were both audiobooks. So.
Okay.
First, I listened to The Husbands by Chandler Baker. This is Stepford Wives, but in I guess it's a thriller. It gets thrillery at the end. Basically, if people didn't hate their husbands before reading this, they would after, because it exemplifies the weaponized incompetence that many people can relate to. And there's just this whole message of like, the husbands and fathers in this book are not so bad. They're not like abusive. They're not like distant, whatever, but they just do the bare minimum. And then at the end of the day, they're like, oh, but am I really that bad? Like, it could be so much worse, blah, blah, blah. And I'm just like, wow, I was infuriated, and I don't even have a husband or a child.
But like the fact that you need to say, am I really that bad?
If you have to ask the question, you already know the answer.
Yeah. Don't look that.
Yeah. So it was good, but it was a little heavy-handed in the social commentary. Like, it was a little over the top. No subtlety whatsoever. I did like the ending, though. The ending gave a little thriller vibe. So it was fine. I don't know if I'd recommend it. Could take it or leave it. And then I listened to Patricia Wants to Cuddle by Samantha Allen, which I had been wanting to read for so long because it always comes up on Book Talk for me. This is about a group of women on a Bachelor-style dating show. Okay. And they go to this remote island in the Pacific Northwest, and then nonsense just ensues. And the audiobook is really good because there are four different women, and like, so it's a different narrator for each, and they each have their own chapters and stuff, and like different POVs. But there wasn't enough Patricia. So Patricia is, no spoilers, because if you look at the cover of the book, like, Patricia is this big, like, hairy monster thing. Oh, okay. Who, like, just wants to be friends.
Just wants to cuddle, apparently.
Yeah, there was like 5% of this book was Patricia. I'm like, where's Patricia? I feel like it was false advertising.
Yeah, it sounds like it might have been.
And I would have liked it just fine as a slasher about these reality TV contestants, because, like, hello, right up my alley. Yeah. But I was promised a misfit story about Patricia, and they also promised me some queer love story. I didn't get any of that.
Well, that's disappointing.
Yeah, so I'm like, I actually need to go on Reddit or TikTok and find out what everyone is talking about with this book. Like, what did I miss? Because I'm like, I really wanted to love it. And I liked what was there, but there wasn't enough.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah, I just had so many questions. But anyway, so neither of them were great, but neither of them were bad either. So I'll allow it. Tell me about your 4 books.
They were all romance. Shocker. I gave 3 of them 4 stars, and 1 was a 5-star.
Okay, love that.
Yes. I started out with Nora Goes Off Script by Annabelle Monaghan, which this was one of my 4 stars. So I have not read anything by this author yet, and I always see her books. They're definitely like good, like, beach reads. I think they have like really fun, colorful covers, and she's been writing for a couple years. This was the first one that I read by her, and it was good. I actually really liked her writing style, so she's definitely someone that I'll continue to read. And this one was basically finding love after a failed marriage.
Oh, okay.
And so Nora, the main character, she has my dream job. She writes scripts for the Romance Channel, aka the Hallmark Channel.
Love.
So, yeah. And so, but she ends up writing, kind of going literally off script, and she writes a novel about her failed marriage. And it gets picked up by like these big production companies, and they end up filming the movie like at her tea house in the back. So I don't know how to describe this. So she has like a house, but then there's like a tea house in the back, kind of like I guess almost like a small probably like a small shed, but they call it like a tea house. I don't know why they call it a tea house. But so they film it back there because that's kind of like where she writes her books, and that was where the book took place. And she ends up falling in love with the main actor that plays her ex-husband. So it's kind of like a hot mess. But it was good. Like, it was really, really strong writing. And I kind of liked reading something from that point of view, because I feel like a lot of the romances that I have been reading are kind of like in our age range or like a little younger. So this was kind of more of like a mature romance. And I liked it. So I like that. I'll definitely continue to read her. I do have one that I bought, but it's like a summer one, so I'm going to save it for the summer. I read a highly anticipated read, which I had seen all over Bookstagram and TikTok. It was like a new fall romance. It was called If It Makes You Happy by Julie Olivia. I've seen this one. Yeah, I gave it 4 stars. It was okay. It was very much, it could have been 100 pages shorter. She was thick, and it was too like slow burn for me. Like, the couple took too long to like get together. But it was like
it's 90s. Like, we know it's gonna happen.
Yeah, but there was a lot of elements I liked. So it was like a 90s fall romance. So they were doing like a lot of throwbacks to like our youth, which was nice. And the town was very much giving like Halloween Town / Stars Hollow. So I love that. Like, if I could live in that town, that would be wonderful. So like, not bad. I will also read other books by her, but it definitely could have been 100 pages shorter. That's okay. And then I read Wild Card by Elsie Silver, which was the final in this series that she has. I gave this one 4 stars. This was like an age gap romance. And again, like, I gave it 4 stars because like I love her, but like I didn't love this one. It was kind of like they meet at an airport and they have like this kind of kismet moment, and then they exchange. She gives him her phone number. Turns out they like messed up a digit. So like he's like reaching out to her and she's not responding. So he thinks that like he's like kind of ghosting her. And then before when they met at the airport, he discovers that his high school sweetheart, or like the girl he was dating in high school, got pregnant but didn't tell him. So he doesn't know he has a son. So he discovers he has a son. And then when he goes to visit said son is dating the girl from the airport.
What?
Yeah. Like, she didn't know. Like, they just kind of like met, and like she had no idea who he was. So it wasn't like it was like this planned malicious thing. But anyways, obviously the son is like a douchebag. So they break up. She goes to move to the town that the older guy lives in, and obviously like there's definitely
so she breaks up with this guy and then dates the dad.
Yeah. Which and then so there's like this one quote that they just kept saying in the book, which I think is what kind of like took me out of it, was like the Sebastian, or Bash they call him, he's like I saw her first, and he's always thinking it, and then he like bursts out and says it to the son. I don't know, it was fine. Like, it wasn't the best one in the series, but like I still liked it.
I just can't suspend my disbelief with romances, because all I'm thinking about is like, wow, that son just met his father for the first time, and now his father is telling him that he deserves his girlfriend.
No, literally,
it's so traumatic.
Yeah, so it's kind of a whatever, but it's fine. So, and then the last one that I read was In the Weeds, which was by B.K. Borison, who is probably like up there with Carly Fortune for like my favorite romance authors.
I love
this. Was a 5-star. This is the second book in her Love Light series. I had read Love Light Farms, I think not last year, the year before, which was the Christmas Tree Farm romance. And this one was really good. It was this couple like has like a one night stand for like it's like a hot and steamy weekend, and then she's like a social media influencer, and so she kind of like dips out, and then they don't really see each other. And then she ends up coming to Love Light Farms, and you know, obviously they end up together because that's how it works. But of course there's always like strife and tension, but definitely like grumpy ex Sunshine, because like he's like a grump, and she's like full of energy and stuff. But yeah, all around just romances as per usual, pretty solid. Yeah. I have an audiobook that I've been listening to that I haven't finished yet, so I should finish it by this month.
Okay. Oh yeah. Speaking of, I'm still waiting on Libby for the Shining audiobook to be ready, because I said on our episode I was going to try and listen to it by now, but I probably wouldn't have gotten it done anyway. But anyway, I'm still waiting for it. I think I only have like 2 weeks left, but I talked to this girl who's in one of my classes. She reads too. And she's like, oh, I really liked the audiobook for The Shining.
Oh, okay.
So that made me excited about it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Cause I'm like, I wasn't sure. Cause you know how we talked about like, it's kind of like usually like heavy writing, but she said it was good. So I'll let you know when I finally get it. As if I'm so impatient, like be so for real. I'm not, because I have another book that I've been listening to for 2 weeks. Anyway, point being, okay, so we both had, well, I had a decent month. You had a good month.
Yeah.
Good.
No complaints.
Yeah, we'll allow it. Okay, so upcoming releases. Not many. Do you have?
I don't think there was any that really stuck out to me.
I skipped Book of the Month for this month.
I did too.
Yeah, nothing really looked good. I did see, though, that, I don't know how to say her name. Owen Con Braithwaite?
Yeah.
Yes. Mm-hmm. So she wrote My Sister's a Serial Killer, which I really liked. I actually just recently read that. So her new book called Cursed Daughters is coming out. That's the only one that I was like considering, because I did really like the other one. And this one, sounds good with like multi-generational like curses and a family and stuff. But it was more like, I'm not going to get to read it anytime soon because I just don't have the time. So I will get around to read it eventually. So that is something I'm looking forward to, because I think it was like much anticipated, because My Sister, the Serial Killer was so huge. And then the other thing I saw was Margaret Atwood, her memoir.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Yeah, I was just looking up this morning. And yeah, it's called Book of Lives, a memoir of sorts.
Oh,
and it's Margaret Atwood's memoir. So I'm like, that would be cool to check out, because I just find her so fascinating.
Yeah, I agree with that.
But yeah, nothing. I didn't really see any romances at all.
No, I was looking, and there wasn't any that like really, I mean, there's a couple authors that I recognized, and I know there's going to be books that people are excited about, like Callie Hart. Brimstone is coming out, which is the follow-up to Quicksilver, which was like this huge romantasy that people were like obsessed with. And I know like that one comes out and people are looking forward to that one, but I haven't read Quicksilver yet, so I can't be looking forward to something that I haven't read yet. But I know that's like a really big release that people will definitely be excited for.
Yeah, and it makes sense also, like November is not a huge month.
No, I
for
feel
book
like
releases
these
anyway.
next 2 months aren't going to be good ones, because I think that they definitely seem to come out like late winter, early spring, and then all of summer. And then I feel like once you start to get into the holiday months, it kind of dies off a little bit. Obviously, October is good because people are writing like horrors and like stuff like that, but the winter's kind of only really good for maybe like winter romances. And all those books came out already. They were like released in October.
And I feel like December is mostly, everyone's doing like their year-end lists, and like, Barnes & Noble, Goodreads, they'll all do like their year-end best books. So you don't really get too many new books, because then they can't be considered. So
exactly.
All right. So not too much to look forward to this month. All right. Are you ready for our book topic?
Yes.
Did you forget about this segment again?
I did. I just see the look of panic on my face for a hot second.
I was like, here we go. But that's why I keep my notes from every month.
I know.
And just keep changing them, because otherwise, I'd forget all of this stuff. All right. So we're going to talk about banned books. I had someone...
And I'm
banned.
like, Rockstar Books? And I was like, oh, wait, no. B-A-N-N-E-D.
I'm sorry. Idea for a future month, perhaps. Yes. But banned, B-A-N-N-E-D. So I posted a TikTok where I listed books that we have covered on our podcast that are banned books. And someone commented on it and was like, how are these banned if you can literally get them on Amazon? So I realized that a lot of people probably don't fully understand banned books and what that means. So especially in a world where things are so easily accessible for us. So we're going to talk about it. So there's 3 different levels when it comes to banned books, and the term banned books is just kind of like a catch-all for all of this. So that's why it gets kind of confusing. So there are books that are banned by removal, which is what we see the most often, I think. And it's when books are removed from schools or libraries after being challenged. So they are still available for purchase, Amazon, Barnes & Noble, wherever it may be, but accessibility is restricted because they're no longer available in libraries and schools. We'll get back into that. And then we also have prohibition, which this is like, I think this is what people think of when they hear banned books. This means a book is not allowed to be published. It's not allowed to be imported. It's not allowed to be reprinted at all. And this is where we see book burning, where people are destroying all existing copies of a book so that not only can it not be republished, but they need to destroy all existing copies.
That's like insane. Can you just imagine writing something and then it just never being accessed again?
I think that's kind of, we talk about how the internet is like such a double-sided coin, but I think that's one of the benefits of the internet, that some of these things can never be fully destroyed.
Yeah.
But yeah, I can't imagine that. It's like, on one hand, it's like, oh, so I pissed someone off by making this book, but it's so insane that like books about education, about art, about whatever are so, it makes it obvious how powerful they are if people feel the need to destroy them. You know what I mean? And then the last kind is we have restrictions where books are available, but they may require parental permission or they're marked for specific grade levels. So it's basically the same as like movie ratings. And so like in a school, if you have like YA books, then, they're going to say, okay, you can only take this if you're like 5th grade and higher or something like that.
Yeah.
Which I think is reasonable in most cases because it is a way to regulate, these are still available, but there is some limiting to the topics and stuff that may be appropriate for age levels.
I can understand that.
Yeah, it's like one of those things where I think it's reasonable, but it obviously gets abused. Okay, so some of the reasons books are challenged or removed can be a lot of things: profanity, sexual content, racism, violence, drug use, and, very big one, LGBTQ+ topics. So as I said, like the point is that banned doesn't mean no longer available. It means that accessibility is being limited. So being able to go to Amazon or Barnes & Noble to purchase a book is privilege, 100%. It is having the funds, the means, the ability to do that, especially as we know where people right now are living paycheck to paycheck, have to use their money to pay for food and transportation and essentials instead of books. They're not just going to Barnes & Noble and buying a overpriced hardcover, and, or in some cases, going to a small business, like a locally owned bookstore where, they have to charge those higher prices in order to keep their business open. They can't offer coupons or stuff like that like Barnes & Noble can. So even people who are purchasing, they have to make that decision on like, okay, well, then I have to get it secondhand, or I have to get it when I have a coupon or from Target or whatever. So this is where enter libraries, which provide free access to books, computers, other media, stuff like that. But we're talking about books, and schools, which offer the same. So by limiting these books being available for free, you are limiting exposure 100%. And you're linking it to privilege. There's no other way to say it, because like anyone can get a library card. If you have an address, you can get a library card. And that's not even the requirement. Like there are plenty of libraries that help unhoused people who don't have addresses get books, use books. And you don't have to have a library card you have to have a library card to take books out. You don't have to have one to go to a library and read in the library. So they are truly available to everyone. And when you enter in like parental controls on top of the privilege and limiting the exposure, we know that middle-aged white women love banning things. They just love going Karen and just going with like the MAGA playbook of like, well, someone said this book is bad and it's going to turn my child gay, so we simply cannot have it. So even children with privilege can be limited in their reading and education based on their family situations. And I think obviously this is like a really important, like sparks this whole other debate about how our education is so shaped by our families and the way we're brought up, our schools and communities where we're raised. Obviously, you know, a middle-class white child in this neighborhood is going to get a different education from, you know, a person of color in a less fortunate neighborhood. Like that's just the way our society is structured. Things that aren't being taught in books or things that are, and parents are framing them in a certain way. I mean, it's the whole thing, like racism is taught. We know this. All of these negative things are taught. So when we leave interpretation, or I guess when we leave that window open to be infiltrated by other people or other people's opinions, it messes with the whole, this is just a book that's supposed to carry a message, you know?
Yep.
And so I think it's like, that's what I think people don't understand specifically about banned books, because a lot of people are like, oh, who cares? Like, kids shouldn't be reading that book anyway. Or why would they want to read that book? Or they can go to Amazon or whatever. And it's like, first of all, it's the principle, which in most of these cases, that's what it really is about, is the principle. But like you said before, like people have created this art. And this is not just like fiction books, obviously. This is like nonfiction books. This is, you know, plenty of books where people have created this art to educate and sometimes to entertain, to whatever. Like this is their art. And then it's being just kind of treated in this way, like it has some malicious intent, when that isn't the case. Like these books aren't, like what book with, well, this might be a bad example, because I was going to say, what book with LGBTQ content made you want to turn gay? I don't know. I'm not the one to ask, because if I read a book about lesbians, I love lesbians. You know what I mean? So I'm not the one to ask, but what I'm saying is like, these books are not converting children to be gay. Like it's the same thing as fucking TV shows. Like, so I think it just, people are so caught up in like wanting, God, it always comes down to control, right? It's all we talk about in this fucking podcast is control. Like we are so obsessed with controlling what other people consume and think and feel and their opinions and behaviors. And it's like, the worst part is that so much of this is people being uneducated about it. Like people, parents who haven't even read these fucking books. Yeah, and they're just like, well, someone said that this book is bad, so we have to get it out of our Florida schools. When I looked at the freaking banned book list, Florida and, there was one other state that were like, the list just went on and on and on and on and on. New Jersey was like one book. Like it's just, it's crazy.
No, it is.
And it's obvious. Of course it's going to be more in those places, but I think for us as people who just love books and want everyone to, like, we have our own tastes, whatever, but like we want everyone to be able to kind of have that love of reading.
Yeah, and like you should just be able to read what you want to read. There shouldn't be restrictions.
And that's why, like, I do get kind of the age restrictions.
Yeah, that
like,
I understand.
Because it's the same way with movies. Like, there's some movies I saw way too young that I shouldn't have seen.
Yeah,
and it's like, so I do get that. And also, you know, there's a lot of like maybe books that introduce sex or whatever. And it's like, those themes shouldn't be, like, kids shouldn't have to learn about that in books. They should have, you know, like health classes. They should have their parents talking to them about these things. That's a whole other issue with our healthcare, with our education system. But I do understand why that shouldn't be, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because then if kids aren't comfortable asking for clarification, asking questions, having that open dialogue, then the only information they're getting could be from a fiction book. And that's not, you know, healthy or helping anyone.
Yeah.
So what do you think about this whole banned book situation, and how can we, I guess, like, educate people on what banned books really means besides our podcast?
I was going to say, I mean, like, I don't know that there's necessarily anything other that we can do than to just be vocal about it on, like, obviously it's like social media platforms and stuff like that. You know, like, we're not educators, so it's not like we can, like, bring it up to people in schools and stuff. But I think just being vocal about it, and, you know, if the topic of books ever comes up in real life scenarios, just bringing it up that way, kind of like organically. Because other than that, how else are you supposed to know? Social media is the access to everything.
Yeah, and I think also pointing out, like, when you actually spell it out, how dumb it sounds. Like, oh, we can't read Perks of Being a Wallflower? Why? What's the reason? You know what I mean? Like, breaking it down to, instead of just kind of this, like, herd mentality of, oh, well, this is on the list of things we're not supposed to read. But why?
Yep. I know.
You know, and some of the books,
and also, like, who has the right to, like, make that decision?
That's it. Yes. That's 100% it.
That's kind of a confusing matter as well.
Yeah, I think that's the biggest, and that's why I said, like, per state, the states with the most banned books are the states with dangerous and harmful political views. And that's why it's kind of like the age restrictions and stuff are one thing, but who are you to decide that these other books are going to affect people in certain ways? And of course, why is it only specific things? You know, how many of these books are about, like, hetero cis white men? You know what I mean? Like, it's not like a lot of these books are from Black authors, Black children, LGBTQ, obviously. And it's like, who decides that is harmful?
Yeah.
The people who are deciding that are not good people.
Yeah. No.
So yeah, I think that you hit the nail on the head. Like, that is the bigger issue, is not just that these books are being challenged and banned, but who the fuck is deciding?
Yeah, exactly.
And, you know, like we said, people who haven't even read these books, or people who haven't even heard of these books. And, like, I do think it is important to follow a lot of creators who talk about this too. I know that Jodi Picoult talks about this constantly, because she's, like, one of the most challenged authors of our time, maybe the most challenged of our time. And so she talks about this a lot on her social media. She goes to town halls. She goes, like, she's really spreading the word about this and talking about it. So I think it's important to, like, also get it from the author's point of view too.
Yes, I agree with that.
So yeah, hopefully that just provides a little more information on what banned means, because I didn't really think about it until someone said that. I'm like, oh, banned is kind of like a catch-all term.
Yeah.
For, you know, these books that are still available, but everything is about accessibility, especially, like I said, right now when things are getting so fucking dark, and when our media and our lives are on the way to being so controlled, and freedom of speech is not a thing anymore. If you disagree with those in power, it sounds like fascism to me, but we're not allowed to say that. So I got to be careful on this podcast from now on. I won't, but I should. Anyway, so it's just, these are things that we have to think about and learn about and educate ourselves about before it's too late.
Yes. 100%.
You know how, like, people are probably like, wow, Bookish Banter episodes are a little more lighthearted. Never. Could never be us. Could never. Anyway, okay, anything else about books?
No.
Now we're going to get to the lighthearted part. TV, movies, yay! We just love to start off with Sunday morning with a existential crisis. Anyway,
always.
And And for anyone listening to this on Monday morning, you're welcome. Okay, so let's switch gears. Let's talk about non-book stuff. Okay, TV. Lots of reality TV, as fucking usual. Love is Blind ended. Yay.
It did. Thank God.
Reunion sucked.
Reunion was stupid.
Why were they playing
basketball? I was listening to the Love to See It recap, and they made a good point. She was like, all these people, it wasn't really interesting because, number one, no one got married. Mm-hmm. So there's not really anything to kind of follow up on. And all these people have already kind of hashed out their shit because it's been a year and a half.
And they've been doing interviews out the freaking wazoo.
Yeah.
But also, as usual, it pissed me off that they didn't bring up some of these issues. I listened to, on Reality Receipts podcast, they were talking about, and they're like, the reason they probably didn't bring up Anton's drinking, Joe's drinking, and Annie's drinking is because they don't want to point out the fact that Netflix is kind of responsible for giving them some of those drinks. Only on the honeymoon, though, not like when they're home at their houses and Anton is chugging a bottle of tequila, but they don't want to point out that something that could come back on them. Although I did see that on, I think it was when Megan was on AD's podcast, and she said that Netflix did limit their alcohol because they were drinking so much.
Oh, wow.
Like, she's like, we were like the drunkest season ever. Like, literally the producers told them, like, we're giving you too much. Like, you guys drink way too much. Yeah. Isn't that crazy?
All right.
So I guess there's not much to do in Denver besides, like,
I guess
be homophobic and drink.
Seems to be the case.
Yeah. But what I really think they should have brought up, and maybe they did, and so much of it was cut out, but, like, I don't like that obviously everyone online is, like, armchair diagnosing Edmund and saying all these things about his personality and his behavior and blah, blah, blah. But his behavior over KB not wanting to have sex with him is something completely separate from whatever people think he's got going on, whether it's, whatever behavioral or mental issues people are trying to diagnose him with. That was, like, harmful and predatory and very upsetting. And, like, no one ever talked about it.
Well, no, but when have they ever talked about anything like that on any of the seasons?
Yeah, but if I was KB, I would have been up and yelling. I mean, but she also, like she said, the perception of her as, like, this angry Black woman, which is so not fair. Mm-hmm. But I don't know. That should just piss me off that, like, no one, like, I haven't even seen her she did make, like, a couple statements about it, but, like, hasn't done a podcast being like, you know what I mean? It just pissed me off.
And she might not ever, to be honest.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that she also, like, is protective of him. Understandably. So
yeah,
I don't know. But I thought it was dumb.
Yeah, I think unless they have some kind of, like, falling out, I don't think she'll ever kind of talk bad on him because she's just not that kind of human in general.
Yeah, I agree. She's always so sweet to him. Yeah, so yay, it's done. I do know that on the next season there's at least one wedding. They did already release that. So yeah, I don't know if they filmed 2 more seasons already. I don't know which one is next.
They're doing one in New York, right?
Yeah, they're doing New York. I don't know. I haven't heard about New York, but they're doing one in Philly for sure. But they're still casting for the one in Philly. But they have 2 more, like, already filmed.
That's crazy.
I can't remember. I think one is, like, Boston or something. I don't know where the other one is.
I thought Boston was one of them.
Yeah. So those are already filmed. They just haven't released them. Because I think they do, like, one in spring, one in fall, usually.
Yeah, I think they kind of space them out.
Yeah. So I guess those will be the ones for next year. But anyway, okay. So since Love is Blind has ended, Married at First Sight has started. Okay. And I never talk about Married at First Sight on this podcast because normally the show sucks. It's a Lifetime show. And normally the season is like 25 to 30 episodes. And the episodes are like 1.5 to 2 hours long. Like, it is way too much TV. There's so much filler. There's so much unnecessary stuff. It's like one of those shows where they come back from a commercial and they show you, like, the 5 minutes that happened before the commercial. And you're like, I know, I've been here. I've been binging it. Anyway, so Lifetime dropped Married at First Sight and Peacock bought it. So the new format is Peacock, and you can tell because obviously like the editing is different. They got rid of so much of the extra bulk. And I think there's still like 12 or 13 episodes, but it's more like all relevant stuff. So you have to add this to your watch list.
I know, and I did
about it.
Yeah, because I saw the ads for it on Peacock too. Mm-hmm.
Because like it is obviously giving Love is Blind, but these people meet at the altar. They don't even know each other's names. That is crazy. They're like, wait, what was your name again? It's like, you are legally married. Yeah, so that's fun. And that they just did the second drop of episodes.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. So I think there's like 3 or 4 drops and they have a reunion. Yeah. Nice. So you're going to watch it by next month and we're going to talk about it.
I'm on it.
Okay. For me, other stuff was Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, which is the best Real Housewives franchise, is back on and it's so fucking good. They just did a crossover episode with Below Deck.
Oh, nice.
Where they're like on the yacht and it's just so funny. They're like screaming at each other and the crew goes into the back and they're like, they're literally killing each other.
Oh my so God.
Funny. And then Selling Sunset. Did you see that it was out?
Yeah, but I didn't watch, but I also haven't watched the previous season.
Oh, okay. I watched the whole season already. Because it's there's short episodes in the background. And Selling the OC comes back like next week or the week after.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so they're both coming out at the same time. But I will say Selling Sunset is just kind of depressing in this social climate. Just to see like this insane wealth. And
I know.
They do cover the wildfires on there, obviously, because like it happened while they were filming. But some of these women just speak so callously about their privilege. And it just like these offhanded comments. And it's like, I know that I watch Real Housewives, so it is the same thing. Mm-hmm. But I don't know, something about seeing it, because like at least the housewives know that they're obnoxious and privileged. And I don't think a lot of these people realize. Like, Bree specifically, she's the one who has the baby with Nick Cannon. I know that a lot of people like her. Maybe I just don't like her because she's linked to Nick Cannon, but who knows? But she makes like a bunch of offhanded comments about like, oh, it's raining outside. I would never go outside. I don't care how high the commission check is. And just like the way she says it, I'm just like, okay. And then there's this one part where she's like, someone is new in the office and asked her about Mariah Carey. She's like, oh, have you met Mariah Carey? Because like, you know, she's another baby mom of Nick Cannon. And she's like, there's 3 things I don't talk about: religion, pronouns, and Mariah Carey.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Bitch, what the fuck do you mean pronouns? What do you mean you don't talk about pronouns? What does that mean?
Oh, God.
So I'm like, okay, don't love that. And then knowing that like Nick Cannon is like anti-birth control and just wants to spread his seed. Like, I don't like that. And then there's this whole scene in one of the episodes where they're like making a joke about how Bree would never cry. I'm like, I mean, I'm sure you've cried before, right? And she's like, I mean, maybe like when I got something in my eye or like in the distant past. And it's like, do you think that makes you cool?
Oh my
God. That you don't show emotion? Like, do you think that that's a healthy message? I don't know. I'm reading too much into it. They're just selling $30 million houses, whatever. Anyway, I just gotta complain about everything. What are you watching, Heather? Get me out of here.
Basically, reality-wise, I haven't really watched anything besides Love is Blind and Survivor and Dancing with the Stars. I gave up on Amazing Race because it's boring. So I stopped watching that. But the new season of Hell's Kitchen came out. So I've been watching that. Yeah. And then I've watched both seasons of XO Kitty on Netflix, which is a spinoff of To All the Boys I Loved Before. So this has to do with Kitty's the sister of Laura Jean. Couldn't remember her name. So she's like the sister, and so this like follows her, and like she goes to school in South Korea, to kind of like learn more about her mom, because her mom went to school out there. And there's kind of just, nonsense happens all the time. Very, very short seasons, like 10 episodes, half hour each, very quick watch.
Oh, nice.
But like a lot happens to the point where it was like definitely like overdone. Like you can tell because it's like a young adult show, and Kitty is like finding her sexuality, but she also, every single person in school like falls in love with her. So it's just kind of like not realistic, but
yeah,
it's fine. It was cute. I'll still watch more seasons. I did watch the second season of Nobody Wants This. And not as good as the first season. Still decent. Soundtrack was probably the best part, but I also really like how the show is written. The creators of the show do like a really good job with the writing aspect, at least. And then, but I don't know, like Adams Brody's character actually like really annoyed me this season, which is like unfortunate because I love him. But I will say the episode where Leighton Meester comes on, episode 5, was really good.
Having like, I haven't seen too many people talking about it yet. I mean, because it like did just come out, but that's what I was worried about, because the first season was so good and so well received. It's like, it's
I know. So I don't know. I mean, I think I saw that there was talks that they're going to do like a third and final, but I don't know that it's been confirmed quite yet. So
it'll depend how this one does, I'm sure.
And then Eric and I did a date night a couple weeks ago, and we watched the new Superman, which was actually like really, really good. It was really good.
Okay. Who's in it?
So it's kind of like
Superman?
I was actually like talking about it, and they said, we were talking to friends about it the other night, and they had brought up that like critics said like this movie was like too woke. And I guess like it kind of was, because it like does touch on like, I think like real life situations. So but it was good. And that was
okay. Scripted, I did watch Wayward on Netflix, which I had just watched like, the first episode last time. It's good. I talked to a couple people who were like, it's very weird. It is very weird, but it's about a cult. And it's got Toni Collette in it, and Toni Collette is only in weird horror movies. So of course she's going to be in this weird ass TV series. I will say I'm obsessed with the main character, and I've been following her on in the show, hold on, I have to say this right. In the show, they use he, him pronouns because they're like trans, and now like, so they are, and it's the reason I'm bringing that up is because it is a very big storyline, because they moved down to this tiny town, and everyone does seem, relatively supportive. Like they use the correct pronouns and like refer to him as the husband, all this stuff. But it's like this weird underlying like tension, you know what I mean? Like because they are in this weird little town, but in real life they use they, them pronouns. Anyway, I'm just obsessed. And then I start following them on Instagram. Post a lot of thirst traps. Anyway, I'll send you who I'm talking about. Anyway, so maybe I liked it more than most because of Toni Collette and this main character, but they did perfectly set up the last episode for a season 2. So if it does well, I'm, obviously they'll do a second season, but it's very weird. It's about like basically like a reform school in the middle of Vermont, and where they send all these kids with behavioral problems. Yeah. And then the entire town is centered around this school. And Toni Collette is like the headmistress of the school.
Okay.
So it is a pretty good watch. It's very weird, but yeah, whatever. I liked it. And then have you seen the trailers or anything for Perfect Neighbor, the documentary on Netflix?
Yeah, I think I told you about that one.
Did you? Did you watch it?
Yeah. I didn't watch it, but
okay.
I saw before it came out that I had seen like a post about it.
Yes, you sent me a post about it. Okay, so I did watch it. It's horrible. It's so it's basically all body cam and interview footage. And it is so raw and so horrible. Like some of this should not have been included. Oh, like there is literal footage of like these children. This isn't a spoiler. It happens like 20 minutes. It's in the trailer. There's of these children finding out that their parent has been killed. And like, it should, like I was crying, eating my chicken nuggets. But more like a stray tear because I was so angry that this was on my TV.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I do think like it's an important thing to talk about because this is, you know, obviously about like discrimination and racism and all this stuff, like especially towards these children. So I think it's important to talk about, but some of the stuff that was included, I was like, I just didn't feel like I should be watching it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I recommend it for the reason that it exists.
Yeah.
Because it was already made. We can't control that. You know what I mean?
We can't control that.
But just know it's like a very hard watch. It's not like a, haha, I'm going to make fun of Quasimodo from the fucking Unknown Number. You know what I mean? Like there's nothing to make fun of.
That's sad.
Yeah. Yeah. It's very fucked. But because of it, because it was so hard to watch, it didn't ignite. You know how I watch a documentary and then I have to watch 94 other documentaries? Yeah. Didn't ignite that in me. One and done. I was good. I was
like this took all your depleted you emotionally.
Yeah, I'm like, I need to watch some reality TV after that one. And then movies, I did watch the new I Know What You Did Last Summer because it did come out to streaming. It's not good. Okay. I knew it wasn't going to be, to be fair, but it's not good. Actually, Madeline Klein's character is the most like developed character. She's the only one with like a personality or any traits at all. They're not good traits. She's like kind of like the vapid rich girl, whatever.
Yeah.
But everyone else is just like completely shallow characters. She's the only one who's at least kind of funny and entertaining. Yeah, definitely watch it, but it's not good.
I just want to watch it for the Sarah Michelle Gellar cameo.
Yeah, it's very short, but good. Yeah. And then obviously Jennifer Love Hewitt and Freddie Prinze have bigger roles in it. And they both look great. Of course they do.
I know.
God, I hate them.
Same.
And then I didn't have a chance to do my usual Halloween viewing of like, you know, all the good stuff like Hocus Pocus, Practical Magic, all that stuff. But I did watch a few new to me horror movies that I'd been putting off for a while. So that was nice. I watched In a Violent Nature, Late Night with the Devil. I watched like 4 of the Halloween movies, which is near a dent because there's like 12 of them. But yeah, so nothing like to write home about. But these were ones that I had added to my queue so long ago. Yeah. And like the horror movie podcast that I listen to, they cover all these. So finally I listened to them. Yeah. All right. Any other movies, TV?
No, that's really all I watched. Because it's also like football's back. So like my entire Sunday is now like football.
Yeah. I'm like, I just catch up on my shows and then I'm doing homework. So non-viewing related on a screen. But yesterday I went to a political rally and saw Obama.
You did.
It was so exciting. Wow. People just really miss, me included, people really miss Obama.
I really miss Obama.
We could barely hear his speech because people just kept cheering and yelling. Someone kept calling him Zaddy, which was funny.
Oh, love that.
Yeah. And I mean, the man is fine. Okay. He does look much older. Like, poor guy, but still looks hot. And people just screaming like, we miss you. We love
Seriously.
You. Obama 2028. And he's like, no. But anyway, so it was just amazing to see him, to see like all of these people, these like-minded people, just like taking time out of their day to, you know, it's kind of one of those things like, okay, you're preaching to the choir. Cause like the people who are coming here for a Mikey Sherrill rally better have already fucking voted for Mikey Sherrill. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Obviously, we're in New Jersey. So anyone who doesn't know what I'm talking about, we're in New Jersey. Very big election for us right now for governor. But it's just like good to be around those people. It kind of makes you feel less crazy, makes you feel less anxious.
I agree.
And, you know, seeing someone like Obama, who is so well respected, like backing her and really like explaining why this is so fucking important. And actually, I was really surprised that majority of the people were middle-aged or older.
Nice.
and a lot of like middle-aged or older white people, men, women, like a lot. I was expecting more young people just because of like, you know, because young people are involved in politics right now. Also, at one point, Obama was talking about young people, and I was like, oh my God, he's talking about me. And then I realized he's not. He's not. He's talking about actual young people. And I was like, oh. But anyway, so we were just kind of like surprised by the crowd who was there, but in a good way.
That's good, though. Yeah, I'm glad you got to experience that.
Yeah, it was very exciting.
I think that's a really cool moment in history to witness.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, that's even like, so they had performers from the high school. I don't know if it was Newark High School. Maybe it was East Orange, whatever. It's one of the local high schools. They had like their little mini marching band and their kind of like their color guard, like the dancers. Cool. And I'm like, imagine these kids who are like in high school being like, oh, I performed at this Obama rally. Like, that's so cool.
That is cool.
Yeah. So it is kind of like a moment in history thing. But yeah, if you're not from New Jersey or from the US, actually, if you're not from the US, please manifest for us. Send your good vibes.
Literally.
It's bad. It's dark. Yeah. Only other thing. Oh, do you have any podcasts that you want to shout out this month?
So if anyone is like a football girly like me, I do highly recommend the podcast Sports Ball. It's SportzBall. Okay. It's like these two best friends out in Los Angeles. It's a guy and a girl, so I love that. And they like just talk about their teams respectively, and then like other stuff that's going on in like the NFL weekend, like how other teams played, anything that's crazy that's going on. But then what was funny is that they're a brand new podcast. Like they only just started like recently. And so they're very big on like reviews and, you know, write us a review and like we'll read it on the podcast and like comments and stuff. And I had commented on one of their podcast episodes because I was like dying laughing, and I actually like read my comment on the podcast, but I'm cracking up because I'm driving and they're like, oh, Heather Schuck. And I'm like, that's me.
Oh my gosh. You're like, I'm sorry. Me?
I was like, oh, and I just started dying laughing. And so I texted Eric and I was like, a podcast just called me out. And like, Eric's like, that must have been weird for you. Like a weird moment. Like you're just driving and someone says your name on the radio.
Okay. That is so weird.
Yeah.
And it's the same way that like people listen to us.
I know.
And I think that's so weird. Like,
I know.
Really?
And I'm like, should we do that? Like, should we read like reviews or comments? Because like that was funny.
I do think we should. That's gonna be a new segment we're gonna add. That's so funny. Okay, so sports ball. Mm-hmm. All right.
Yeah. So if there's any people that like, so if anyone likes sports, like NFL specifically, because that's all they talk about.
Okay.
Which is like the only sport that I follow. So.
Yeah. Listen, I follow wherever the snacks are.
Exactly.
Okay. Any music for this month?
No, there hasn't really been anything because Taylor Swift like came out. I feel like we already like talked about that. Because I recorded the last one.
I have some music. It's not new. I sent this to you like a while ago because it comes up on my book talk, and it is not a screamo song. Okay, people will say that it is. I personally, a screamo snob, would disagree. If there's no pig squealing and you can actually understand the words that they're saying, that's not screamo to me. He's mostly just yelling. But the point is that there is this like new thing of a lot of musicians who are like targeting sounds wrong, who are marketing to the women of romance book talk. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like in a dirty sexual way. Okay.
Yeah.
This book is called Beg on Your Knees by Ash to Eden. And I love it. I listen to it all the time. I think it's so funny. So just to close us out, I would like to read some of the lyrics to you. Okay.
Please do.
Because it's flawless. And truly, I started seeing more songs like this pop up on my algorithm. And I'm here for it because it's so entertaining. Okay. So
I love that for you.
I'm going to do a dramatic reading of these very sexual lyrics of this pretend screamo song.
Wonderful.
I'm not going to be able to do it with a straight face. Okay. You don't want soft. You want soaked. You want hands that leave you choked. You want the bruise, the scratch, the bite, being thrown and taken down tonight. If you're going to beg, then do it right. Say my name and grip me tight. You begged for wreckage and you flaunt it. Moan so loud, the room feels haunted. That's my personal favorite line.
Oh, I like that one.
So good.
A plus.
And it just reminds me of like, have you seen those TikToks where it's like you're listening to your audiobook and then like it accidentally connects to like the car speaker or like your husband's phone or something, and it's like just like the dirtiest
thing
and they're like,
that they could ever say,
like deer in headlights. Yeah, so that just reminds me of this, and then I'm like, wow, this is me as I'm just driving around just listening to Moan So Loud the Room Feels Haunted. And I'm not even a dirty romance book girly.
No,
but
you're not. That's so
apparently
funny.
I am. Yeah, so I just want to point out the turns that this podcast has taken
in a good direction.
On this note. Yeah. Oh yeah, in a good twisty, windy direction. Anything else?
No. Oh my god. I'm really happy that we ended on that. So now we can't talk about anything else because that's what we need to leave the listener with. That's all.
Just for anyone who Beg on Your Knees by Ashton Eden. Okay, check it out. It's great. I'm not getting. Okay. We're not getting any kickbacks from these people, but maybe we should. Okay. Anyway, we gotta get out of here. Okay. All right. That's all we have for you this month. If you like what you heard, any part of it, we were all over the place today, as usual. If you like what you heard, please be sure to follow, subscribe, rate, and review the podcast on whatever platform you're listening on. Leave us a comment. And on next month's Bookish Banter, we'll read it out loud. We'll shout you out while you're driving, and you'll have a weird out-of-body experience like Heather did.
Literally.
If you have any book recommendations or questions for us, you can email us at fullybookedcalfpod@gmail.com. Also go and follow us on our socials to see our upcoming reads. We're on Instagram and TikTok at fullybookedcalfpod. Thanks for checking us out. And remember,
if you need us, we're fully booked.
Bye. Godspeed.